This is the Microtech LUDT, Large Underwater Demolition Team knife. This is a classic automatic knife. I know it goes way back. This one is not mine. It's on loan to me from my buddy Hero Sticks, good friend of the station, good friend of the channel, and good friend of the podcast. He has sent me other boxes full of cool knives in the past. Last time it was a focus on larger knives, and this time it was a focus on just kind of sub 3.5-inch knives, and he sent me some real beauties. And this is the first one I'm showing you. This is a Microtech that I've always wanted, and since recently getting the new SOCOM Bravo, my interest in Microtech has upticked. Again, I'm really always impressed with everything I pick up by them. Pick up meaning actually hold in my hand. Everything I've ever held in my hand by them is impressive. And I have to say, my favorite stuff, even though I love the SOCOM Bravo with its titanium frame, or with its titanium and its carbon fiber, is I love their aluminum. And this knife, the LUDT, has a lot of what I love in those aluminum handles. Just very, very nicely precision machined and light, nice and light, putting the balance kind of in the center, right on the pivot, where a fighting knife should have its balance. And fighting, I mean tactical, that kind of thing. But of course, most people who get this, especially this nice red one, maybe aren't fighting with them, but using them as EDC knives, luxury EDC knives. And this is certainly that. I love that handle. I love the shape. And you might be noticing there's a distal taper towards the pommel that I was totally unaware of in this design until I got it in hand here. And at first it tripped me up a little bit. And I realized the ergonomics of this knife really work for me if I were to remove this. Of course, this is not my knife, so I would never remove this, but without that there, this to me would be a very, very comfortable knife. With it there, I'm kind of like, I get a little fussy about it. But okay, so let's talk about what this is here. We'll start with the handle. You have aluminum, two-piece aluminum screwed together with these really cool looking but pain in the ass proprietary screws. Pain in the butt because you cannot take it apart or adjust it unless you buy or find that tool. I think they do that by design, so people don't take these relatively complex knives apart and then send them to them in a Ziploc bag. Like I said before, aluminum here, nicely anodized red. I love this fluting in the handle. It really does make for a great grip when your fingers reach around and the fat of your fingers bury themselves in all that fluting and those grooves. It really helps make this a nice grippy design. The anodized surface has that sort of texture. It's not chalky, but slightly abrasive. You can kind of feel a micro texture there from being blasted, I guess. This jimping here is very handy to nestle in the thumb. I mean, in the palm of your hand, and give you a sure grip when you're firing that out. And it does fire out pretty nicely, pretty hard, and it really is a pretty strong coil spring around that pivot, I'm imagining. It rockets out. Really like that. And then we move up towards the blade. This is a almost fully flat ground, so I guess we'll just call that a saber ground. 204p blade. I don't have anything in 204p. I know it's a very good steel. I just don't know exactly what its properties are. I think it's something sort of like, you know, the M390s and such. But that's about as far as my knowledge goes. I do love that really rough. I'm not sure if this is their apocalyptic texture, but I love that real rough look, that stone washing. As a matter of fact, I do have the box close at hand, And yes, that is the Apocalyptic Finish. And it's cool, man. It's really nice. And you could use this thing till the cows come home, and you're never going to see the damage you put on that blade unless you do some, use it pretty rough because of all of that texturing and that acid stone washing. Great clip, by the way, before we leave this handle altogether. I love the clip. It reminds me of the clip on my SOCOM Elite with that cutout right there. Really accommodates for seams on pockets that might be more like khakis, less like jeans that come across flat. Khakis or service pants have pockets that come up at a tilt. I have always appreciated that cutaway for that purpose. In this case, it also aids in the clearance for the lanyard hole there. But back to the blade, it's very, very sharp. Like all Microtechs, really, really sharp. This one starts with a very thin blade stock. And I love how the spine is crowned, nicely crowned, and then these really excellent scoops. These jimps are taken out of the spine, and man, they give you a great grip. These particular types of scoops there. And then, as I was mentioning before about how they so adeptly machine their aluminum, the thing that always jumps out at me is the jimping and how crisp and grabby the jimping is on their aluminum handles. I have 4 Microtechs of my own, and 3 of them are aluminum, and they all share that quality. So this is one of the very, very few knives that I actually like all that billboarding. I think it's cool for some reason. I'm not sure why. I really don't like it. Makes me bristle on most knives, but I do like it here on the Microtechs. All right, let me show this off with a couple of other Microtechs. First of all, here it is with a Ultratech. Again, just really, really excellent, crisp milling and jimping in there. I gotta clean that out. But just a really excellent use of aluminum and milling. I dig it so much. I'm liking Microtech. Again, not that I never didn't like them, but I never focused on them. Here's my beloved Elite, SOCOM Elite. I love this knife. Again, amazing jimping, amazing milling and crispness in that milling. And that cool pocket clip that accommodates upward slanting pockets, pocket seams. Such a great knife. I love that Tanto shape. So obviously quite a big knife compared to the LUDT. Here, let me show this couple of size examples. Here it is with the Paramilitary 2. See, line it up right there. Close, very, very, very close in size. And then here it is with the RSK Mark 1 Mini, 3-inch knife, 3-inch bladed knife. All right, and then here it is with a 2 of my favorite out the side automatics. The ProTech TR3, or no, this is the TR2. I love this knife. Again, well, I shouldn't say again. This is the first time I'm talking about ProTech. ProTech also does an awesome job with their milling of aluminum. This got a lot of use in painting one of my girls' rooms a while ago, and unfortunately, I thought I wanted to leave that there to remember the thing, and then I just remember the occasion that I decided to remove it, and lo and behold, that seems to be in there pretty well. But okay, part of the history of this blade. This fires out really hard. Let me see. Hard to say. They both fire out really hard, but let's see. This is totally unscientific. Oh, shit, that was stupid. All right, well, this one seems to come out pretty well and pretty hard, but so does this. So we're gonna put this down here. And let's see, one other. Reminds me a lot of this knife. This is the TR3. Also with that fluting, and just an awesome, awesome automatic knife. Absolutely love this thing. So here it is. This is the Microtech LUDT. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous automatic knife. Thank you so much, Hero. I really appreciate your loaning this to me. Thanks for watching.